Well, it's been getting progressively worse as the day goes on. So
Yeah, even this podcast, it seems like it's gotten worse. So, I mean, you've been
it
talking a
couldn't.
lot. So
It could not have
Look,
been me just drinking more and more all evening
that's
long.
supposed to loosen it up, numb it, and that
you
makes me
can
feel better when I'm.
you can get sick now. You just got to be better by Saturday morning. That's it. We need you on Saturday.
We need them smash burgers.
It was a rough weekend. I did Dragon Con on Thursday, Friday, tailgate Saturday, went to Dragon Con Saturday after the game, back on Sunday.
Wait, Saturday after the game?
Holy crap.
I don't even know what that is.
Technically, it was Sunday morning.
1 a.m.
I went. Yeah, it's like, well, because I didn't have my badge, and we just snuck in. We snuck into Dragon Con.
Nice.
But yeah, so that was late night after just doing drinks at somebody's house before going out there. Yeah, it was and then Sunday more Dragon Con until like 2 a.m. or something. And then on Monday we went to a brewery with some friends up in Marietta. So yeah.
Not for Dragon Con, just for fun.
Not yeah. Just well, we were taking the foster dog up to meet a family, and they're adopting her. We are done with the foster dog.
For now. Well, what's the next one?
We haven't done a handoff yet. Well, Kim doesn't want to use the same foster group because she says they suck. So
find a different, easier fostering group.
Yeah. Yep. So rough times. That's why I sound like absolute ass and feel like absolute ass. And there probably is some Dragon Con crud going into it as well. It's like getting my body completely exhausted and then not injecting, but like putting me around.
Ingesting. Yeah.
So, yep. Good times. Great oldies. Yeah, Tim, I think you'll like the Chris guy, the Chris Goforth. He definitely sounds like somebody that works in radio. So
I liked I mean, of course I liked it because I'm the one who asked the question and started talking about traffic. But I always tell you guys, like with the interviews, I really do want it to be like, another guy sitting at the bar with us and just talking about whatever the fuck we talk about, and like that is something. I mean, as soon as I said something about traffic, I mean, he like lit up, he was like, oh my God, let's talk about Chattanooga traffic because holy shit, it's bad.
It is bad.
Like he said, he's like, when you get somebody from Atlanta complaining about your traffic, you've got bad traffic.
Yeah. You're doing it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did y'all talk about barbecue or no?
We did not talk about barbecue, actually. We did talk about breweries and little markets and stuff set up around the football stadium and all that which was, I think that may not actually be part of the interview.
Oh.
That may have been. We did shoot the shit for a few minutes afterwards. So
it's always good.
That's what I did on Monday. I smoked a butt, and the one I was supposed to do on Friday, but I woke up at 5, got it on the smoker by around 5:30, 5:45 ish, and didn't eat until 9 p.m. I was very annoyed.
God, yeah,
it took a long time.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Well, I guess you have the pellet, but like my smoker takes like an hour and a half to get to temperature.
Yeah, the pellet, it handles it pretty well.
But the cavity of mine is so big, it just takes a while for more heat to get into it.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. But you can pile them in there if you want.
I can put a lot in there. Yeah.
I did wrap it for the first time in butcher paper rather than tinfoil, and I do think the bar.
Yeah, this conversation is great.
A lot better.
Well, I guess
why not?
There are people that swear about it, swear about butcher paper. I guess it's not as airtight. There's at least a little bit of steam can escape.
Yeah.
Therefore, it doesn't soak your bark as. I've never used butcher paper. I know a lot of people swear by it, but I've not used it.
It was my first time, and I do think that the bark came out better. I don't know how much better, but it definitely it was noticeable.
I just like to unwrap and let it put it back in the smoker for like another half hour, 45 minutes at the end.
Leave it in, yeah.
To re-crisp up re-dry
Yeah.
out the barky pieces.
This didn't need that. It didn't.
Yeah, the bark is the best.
That's what I was saying, because it's like it's got like that charred kind of umami to it, which
Mhm.
I just really love. And if you can get it where it's nice and like kind of crisp, but not dried out, like the meat under it is not dried
Yeah.
out, which I did it. It worked out. So
And also, you got to figure that's the area that got all of the seasoning, all
Yeah.
the rub or
Oh,
all
yeah.
the sauce or whatever it was you used to season with. That got all of it right there. So
Yeah. I also cheated on my bark. I used a rub that had sugar in it. So
that's not cheating. People put sugar in
it's
their.
kind of cheating. It's a lot easier to get a nice bark when there's some sugar in the rub.
Some nice
Well,
sugar.
I guarantee you, there's not a single competition barbecuer that's not putting sugar in their rubs.
That's because it makes a nice bark.
And it's tasty.
Well, yeah, but like with a pork butt, it's such a blank canvas that
Oh,
you
yeah.
want to put as much flavor into as possible, and that's
And
both
has heavy, just as heavy hand as you can get.
Yeah, it can
Yep.
handle it.
Yep.
Handle it.
Yep. Anywho,
Now I want some barbecue.
well, come over. I got tons, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like made a tray up for my neighbor and still have like just a ton. It's
pork
over
butts
it was
are-
over an 8-pound butt, and there's only 2.5 of us in the house.
There's
and one of them-
surprisingly a
one
lot
and
of
half
meat in
doesn't
it,
eat pork or doesn't eat it.
There's
so-
surprisingly a lot of meat in pork butts. Like I know you look at it, you're like, okay, cool. I have this pork butt. Oh yeah, I know that'll be dinner tonight, and I'll probably do some
It
sandwiches tomorrow,
multiplies.
and we're good. And then you cook it, and you're like, I will eat barbecue for the rest of my life because this will never go away. There's still so much barbecue.
And when they're on
I
sale,
made-
I got it on sale. It was like $14, and I'm gonna eat it forever.
Steal.
I
I
made
no longer need food.
I went rummaging around our deep freezer the other night, and I pulled out some chicken thigh fillets, no skin, no bones. Let them thaw out. I just pan fried those tonight for dinner. And Cooper asked for more chicken, and Kim goes, "Chicken? When'd you make chicken?" And I'm like, "Dinner was chicken." And she's like, "Oh, I thought it was pork."
Nice.
That means your chicken's really good.
Yeah, take that compliment.
Yeah, this was no smoker, no anything. This was just pan fried. But yeah, so anywho, that was weird.
Whatever. This is
Yeah.
some of the stuff we talk about. We already talked about the tailgate a bunch.
Yep.
What
So, yeah,
base are you guys gonna bring in your mixed drink?
I haven't even thought about this yet, even though we've talked about it.
well,
Probably vodka, most likely.
I need to do some research because I have no idea if it's
Mhm.
even possible to do it. I mean, vodka would probably be my base just because I'm a vodka drinker. But maybe a flavored vodka or a flavored rum or something like that. But what I want to try to do, and I'll tell you this now because I probably won't do it. I want to find out if I can do a layered drink with a thin red line as the base of it,
That's the base.
and then the blue on top of it to have
Yeah.
the red underline. Because you guys know I'm obsessed with the red underline.
Now
Yeah.
it sounds like a shot. You're making a shot for everyone.
I have my idea
Well,
for
shots-
that too. Just
shots are
didn't show
just,
it off yet, so
Shots are just tasters of cocktails.
They are. Yeah.
that was
Can
my
I
other
get a-
thing is not really
Can I get
knowing
a
like
flight of cocktails and just give you like 8 shots?
not really
No
knowing
one-
how to present it.
No one makes it to the game.
Well, that's
Or
the
no
thing
one's
is
allowed-
everyone's gonna bring shots, right? I mean, so we're just gonna be doing shots all day. It's not
Yeah,
gonna
and,
be.
and for those that do make it to the game, we'll never be allowed
Bonus
back in the
points.
game again. Oh, and also like no one really replied to this on the Patreon group chat, but I think it's an excellent idea that Nelson has with the AT aliens and bringing inflatable aliens and just tossing them out like beach balls at games.
The blue ones, yeah, blue ones.
Well, you can
Until we get
you can
kicked out for it.
just blue ones, but like the packages come in like with green, blue, and purple, and I'm like, yeah, let's just have a bunch of just AT aliens floating around in the stadium.
Just
I was
bouncing.
like, I'll buy 100 of them, and then I started thinking more about it. I was like, they may not like 100 of them.
No,
No, and
probably
we'd have to like
probably get kicked
smuggle them
out.
in somehow.
Oh, well, they're uninflated. You just have them in your pockets, and then
But then you have to inflate them.
well, so the idea was we'd hand them out at the tailgate. People came by, and we would just hand them out, give them, as many as they
That's
wanted.
fair. Yeah, we could just have like a
Big bucket.
fish bowl or something
Yeah.
of them, and just say like, "Hey, grab one and just blow it up and toss it out during the game."
Like
Hopefully,
a big
Athletics
ball.
doesn't listen to this part of the
Who
podcast.
knows?
No, that'd be fine.
Mm. Well, if they do, and they don't want us to do this,
They'll
then they
reach
will
out.
reach out to us, and we'll know for a fact that they're listening. So
Okay, there we go.
check and mate.
They can't hear my wink if they're listening to the podcast, but if they're watching
Wink, wink.
this,
Well, if they're, because they still could listen to the podcast, that last call, because that's still out
They
there.
can. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we
That's
honestly
all good.
we've become a YouTube channel, guys. We're more YouTube. Our YouTubes are way more than our podcast downloads.
all right.
And by the way, the last week's interview with Wreck It Talk Ralph, we were just shy of hitting 2,000 views on YouTube.
Holy
I thought we got some
crap.
good engagement too. I saw it on
Damn.
Twitter. I thought there was like some pretty good conversation. Like it wasn't even a lot of shit talk. It was like, I don't know. It just
Well,
seemed
yeah.
like some quality back and forths.
Yeah, well, we had actual comments on the I say actual comments. We had 24 comments on the YouTube video, which we don't get a lot of comments on our YouTube videos. We do get stuff through Twitter and everything else. But yeah, I apparently ruffled a lot of feathers when it came to the Twitter stuff with
What'd you
predictions
say?
of the game. It's
Saying we're gonna win.
I think that Big Game Boomer, one of the sites, like, or one of the accounts like Big Game Boomer, posts stuff about posted like the schedule of Tech, and it's like, what's their schedule going to be this season? And I said 0-3 going into, or 0-2 going into Syracuse, which is who they're at this next week. And so I guess a lot of people they like to bookmark.
Yeah, they
Week
came
two.
back to that
They
way later.
wait
I'm
for
like,
it
Yeah,
to,
they
like,
come back. Whatever.
Hey,
So they
hey,
were
asshole.
roasting me,
Look,
but I was having fun with it. I mean, a lot of them were just like thought they were getting the upper hand, and I would try to come back with something funny or whatever. And one guy was like, "Oh yeah, what's your prediction about next week?" I'm like, 0-3, and I actually got a lot of tech people that liked that I said 0-3. The one guy said, "Shut up, he'll start predicting the rest of the season." And I'm like, "You heard it here first. Tech will be playing in the college football playoff championship, a stone's throw from Bobby Haddad Stadium. They're going to win the whole thing." Like, God damn it.
this guy's wrong about everything.
it's gonna be a rematch too. So
It's true.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Rematch. Yeah.
we're bringing our
Well,
gel
what
this time
sucks is,
though. God
what
damn
sucks
it.
is this game effectively eliminates us from college football playoff even conversation. Like,
Nah, everyone can still lose a bunch of games.
I guess we still win the Sun Belt Conference, and
We
we're the
need everyone
highest
else
ranked.
to lose. Yeah. We need other teams to lose ahead of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well,
Mm,
Boise,
yeah, well,
who played TDS,
well-
is on the list, right, of people who are likely
Worthless?
to go.
Vandy needs to run the SEC this season. So that
I was
they-
actually going to ask if you were saying Vandy was going to go as the G5.
Vanderbilt, the East champions
Yeah.
after beating UGA and everyone else. That would
that'd
be
be funny.
absolutely insane.
Yeah, that would be funny. Like, the first year of like the expanded playoffs, and like Vandy somehow gets the first round bye. Like, just like what, like who, like Alabama and Georgia are like, fuck off, dude.
Yeah. Picked last in the P4.
This
Made
was
it.
for us, not you. You know?
But look, that would be like this thing where the playoffs are this thing that people love because that can happen.
Yeah, I mean that is the I've been thinking about this offseason since they've had the expanded playoffs or going into whatever, that the conference championship games become far less important now. Because
Well, not
like,
if the champ always goes, then they're still very
well,
important.
the champ doesn't have to be doesn't have to have played a conference championship game to be the champ. you're just the highest ranked team in that conference, which is the same way that Big Ten had been doing it forever.
Well, that's
so
dumb. That's stupid.
But like, if you think about it, if the whole point of the expanded playoffs was for the SEC or Big Ten to get more SEC or Big Ten teams into the playoff so that they can get more of a share of the pie, then when you have your two best team, arguably your two best teams playing each other and beating the living snot out of them a week and a half before playoffs start, now you may be getting one that gets knocked out of the playoffs altogether, or you're not putting your best teams forward because you're going to get a bunch of injuries. So,
yeah, I still think that both teams will get in. I do, man.
That was me.
Sorry,
Tim,
that was to Ryan. That wasn't to you.
Yeah, he's flipping me off. He's flipping me off.
Okay. I mean, they won't get in.
Ryan put in our private chat that I'm doing my RFK Jr. impersonation right now.
Yeah.
We are going to endorse Trump, right?
Oh boy.
Oh,
you saw that the Eagles, somebody put up that Philadelphia Eagles. Somebody started putting up Kamala posters saying the official candidate of the Philadelphia Eagles, and so some fans are like, "What's this about?" And the Eagles are like, "We didn't do that. That
yeah,
was."
it turns out that's like 3 printed words anyone can do.
Yeah,
so.
but they were using official logo, and they were getting them actually put at bus stops, like inside of the marketing poster stuff of whatever. And so the Eagles,
that's not okay.
The Eagles are saying that it's not them, but nobody was taking the signs down. So of course you get some vigilantes, some political vigilantes out there that have now been ripping the things down to take out the signs.
I gotta say, I was surprised which chapel, and I won't say which candidate, but which chapel had some presidential candidate signs in the windows, and I'm just sort of like, like what's the point in doing that? Like, I feel like it can only hurt you as a business. Like, why not just sell barbecue?
Why?
I don't understand.
Why would you choose to alienate? But especially with how biased, or I shouldn't say biased, but how divided we've become as a country.
No, I think like 20 years ago is fine, but like right now, and like there are people who would see that sign and turn around.
I'm not eating here.
Yeah, but there's like the I like Ike was like a big thing and stuff like that back in the day. Everybody was putting that stuff up there, right? Yeah, but nowadays when like everyone is like you're either I love you, you're my brother, or I hate you, I want you to die, is the way everyone feels about the two sides.
I know.
You're alienating 50% of your thing, which is why I try to not talk politics except for making fun of Ryan.
Yeah. So. No, with me. Yeah.
So it's always safe.
I just think it's weird. It's just a weird
space.
But now I am interested to go find out, or you'll just tell me when we're out there, of who the candidate is, because it could really go either way with being a barbecue joint in downtown Atlanta, because barbecue would lends itself to more of the southern red state type a mindset, but you're in downtown city of Atlanta, which would be much more blue.
But it's
so,
you know what? Like, I don't have a problem saying who it was, but I did think not saying who it was would be interesting because everyone would realize that you can't really guess based on what I said, right? Like you're going to turn people away, which is weird in and of itself. Like if it's a good barbecue joint, that shouldn't drive people away. But
it's also, RFK.
Why would you do it?
All right, Ryan, I got a question for you. On the political thing before the 17th Amendment, or whichever the hell one it was, where it used to be you had two people running for president, and whoever got this, or you have people running for president, and whoever got the second most votes would become vice president. So in you didn't pick a running mate.
Yeah.
So in this case, based off what's going on, our president would be either Trump or Kamala, and the vice president would be either Kamala or Trump.
Well, it depends, because if we had that system in place, who knows what would have ended up coming up, because it probably wouldn't have been two candidates.
You're right. But I'm just saying, but as divided as we are right now, could you imagine the two of them work together?
Well, can you imagine either of those administrations? Like with just
God. I've always thought about it's made me think back to what it was like when they were originally thinking about the Constitution, and obviously, I think there was people had said that parties were a bad thing for the country, and you
People
don't have
being
parties.
George Washington. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's a person I hear. I've
Yeah.
read about him before.
He is
He's,
people.
he's a guy.
Because
He's part of
so
people.
you think about that nowadays, and part of the job of the vice president is to settle tiebreakers in the House of Congress. Well, in a Republican
Senate.
Democrat situation, or Democrat Republican, whichever one you want to go with, why would the president want the vice president, if they are of differing parties? Why would you want your vice president to go settle a tiebreaker? You're like, oh no, I don't want you to.
You're busy right now because I just gave you something to do.
You got to go to fly
Exactly.
to China.
But that just goes to them thinking about that. Without parties back then it wouldn't have been as big of an issue. It's like, yeah, president, vice president disagree on some things, but it's not polar opposite on every single issue ever.
They also weren't, super far away from each other on a lot of this stuff. So
yeah, they both had just fought the tooth and nail to set the country up. And I guess actually not. It's been like 7 or 8 years after the war.
Yeah, and this is a different podcast to talk about all the ins and outs of that. So I won't get too into it.
Yeah, maybe that's why our only videos that have not 100% likes are Last Call.
And we did politics now. We did barbecue, which should
Barbecue
have some likes, I would
politics.
imagine.
You
Sorry,
still
Amber,
haven't told us
pictures.
who was it? Ryan?
Oh well.
Or is that
Hey,
like
everybody.
after Last Call?
Yeah, after party. All right.
It doesn't matter.
We'll
The
talk to you next week.
point was it was dumb
Oh.
because we can't know based on what I said that like you're going to alienate and there's going to be people who turn away.
I have to go eat Woods Chapel tomorrow.